Ladies and gentlemen, it was a tough watch, but we got away with a point. Welcome back to the Strompcast, episode 294. Before we get into it, let me introduce you to our guests. First, we got Danny. How you doing today, man?
I don't know, bro. Don't ask me that question. What a loaded question. I don't know how I'm doing. I'm doing. I feel. You know that Ukrainian boxer? I feel.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
me
chick.
right now.
Nice. Chris, how you today, man?
Man, a few words. I'm doing all right as well. Still, yeah, I'm also not sure how I feel. I feel not awful though. At least I can tell you what I'm not.
Yeah, that's good at least. And we do have a special guest joining us today. He is a regular and very good friend. It is Kevin. How you doing today, man?
Oh man, I don't know whether I say that I'm fuming because obviously Sporting, everyone knows coming into this they needed the win, and I don't know if I'm actually kind of relieved because at least we got something out of it. And considering it was a draw, perhaps the best way we could have gotten a draw, kind of demoralizing them at the end, all of that is really mixed feelings. It's one of those. We haven't beaten Porto at the Dragão in about a decade.
Yeah.
So
Exactly 10 years.
it depends whether you want to think with your heart, with your brain. It's really mixed feelings, I think, for all of us at the moment. I'm happy to be here, but
I will say,
I think everyone could have done more.
for me, I'll always be happy with a last-minute goal. So I'm happy at least. One out of the
Specifically
four.
a pen.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
add to the graphic, bro. Every game, last minute
Yeah.
goal.
Facts.
Exactly.
This one wasn't for a win, but it was for something important.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Especially maybe come towards the end of the season. But make sure you follow all things Alvalade on social media and podcast platforms. Let's get into the game with the lineups. Of course, in goal for Sporting was Rui Silva, then you have Fresneda, Diamonde, Ignacio, Maxi, Trincao, Morita, Pedro Gonçalves, Hillman, Jenny, and Suarez. Off the bench very late into the game, Luis Guilherme, Fay, and Bragança. Kevin, I'll start with you.
83rd minute, I think.
I think it was, yeah. I think Guilherme came on at 75th.
Yeah, Guilherme came
Right
on
after their goal.
Yeah, but Kevin, that'll let you go first. What are your overall thoughts on the game?
It's really a tale of two halves, if you think about it, because I think from the lineup, everyone kind of gathered what Sporting we're going to do. It's something that perhaps those more critical of Rui Borges until this moment kind of criticise. That sort of thing of being a little bit too conservative, maybe not stepping up to the level of Sporting, that sort of ambition, at least the trajectory of what Amorim looked like he was building on. Being that man to really take the next step and really, instead of just competing with our rivals, really having the results against them that Porto and Benfica have historically had above Sporting. When you go, instead of the likes of Alisson, obviously he was loaned out, but I think the point still stands. Maybe Luis Guilherme, even João Simões, players that take a few more risks, I think, than Pedro Gonçalves and Morita, who looked a little bit more like control players, keep control of possession, just keep it circulating, get us at least to the second half. I think we knew what we were expecting. We weren't expecting a lot of a broken game, trying to hit on transition. It was more keep the ball, keep it flowing, not concede, just keep us alive until the second half, which is mainly our approach in these bigger games. And that was eventually our downfall, I feel, because in the second half, we did not escape that mould in any way, shape, or form. As has already been kind of alluded to, subs at the 80 and 84th minute, when Porto, not really needing the result, they made 3 subs at the 63rd minute, including likes of Rodrigo Moura, who is a player who will break a game, who will decide the game in one moment, one action, has the technical abilities, a little bit greener, for the lack of a better phrase. It makes a little bit more sense in Portuguese, but
He can
he
get
takes
up
a
and
little
win
bit more
headers
risk.
too, clearly, as well.
This is the thing. It looked like Porto, with that sub alone, just looked like they were going for it a little bit more than Sporting, or at least Sporting did not go for the result and go behind the win that they obviously need, being behind in the title race. And obviously the head-to-head result means a lot nowadays because Porto are 4 points ahead. basically now it's fifth because they have the advantage in head-to-head. If we equal their points, Porto still win the league as it stands. So that's the thing. I think everyone was expecting a little bit more from Sporting, a little bit more ambition, a little bit earlier on, perhaps. And it looked like it was forced by a very well-timed goal for Porto, at least. About 77 deflections and a game of pinball, but they got the goal that they needed in a game that wasn't too eventful for goal-scoring chances. Sporting did not take the risk early enough or at all before this point. And the draw was basically as best as Sporting could get, considering this. Perhaps Sporting were better in control in the first half. I think they would have been more satisfied in the first half, limiting Porto a lot, having a little bit more control of the game in general, at least just the areas where Porto were able to get, knowing the Sporting are typically a little bit more nervous in these sorts of occasions. Porto, obviously, at the Dragão would be a little bit more comfortable off the bat. Sporting, given the various adversities, I'm sure we're going to go into them, whether that be the fact that Porto fans throwing off fireworks, the ball boys at the end of the game hiding the ball, the speakers, the cloths trying to block out Sporting's crowd sounds, all of this.
The fireworks
all of
late
this,
at night
honestly,
last night.
For that, Danny, honestly, Porto will obviously be more comfortable. Sporting, considering that, were a little bit more conservative, kind of understandable in the first half, but there was no advancement on that. The first half was probably more than acceptable. Sporting probably the better side, the happier side, but when you don't build on it and you actually do need the result more than Porto do, what were you doing for the whole first half at that point? So it's really a game of first halves. First half probably more satisfactory as the second half went on. Just a lack of action from Rui Borges, a lack of initiative, a lack of courage in a way, just to throw on a few players who have a little bit less of that sort of resistance to them to take that last chance. Obviously, Pedro Gonçalves and Trincão being a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more sensible than the likes of Luís Guilherme, Fei, even Bragança in a way. Perhaps we need to see those players a little bit sooner. That was perhaps Sporting's downfall, as much as it did bring them some sort of success to kind of limit Porto in the first half. And yeah, 1-1, perhaps overall, you could say they was deserved, but one side will definitely be happier with that, looking at the team table, the league table. The only thing that saves Sporting in this game is that they got that late goal to bring it back, and that kind of gives them a little bit of a confidence boost. And Porto, it will definitely dishearten them in a way. That is basically the only saviour in this game, because otherwise this was a failure. Looking at Sporting, as much as we can look at the statistics that might be slightly in favour of Sporting, considering Porto at home would have expected a little bit more than from them. Sporting basically just failed a little bit to go that little extra mile to turn the draw into a win, or to really put their impact on that game. Not just survive and limit Porto, but really show their best selves and show why they should be winning this title. This was the bare minimum. I guess we can't be too upset, but we're definitely not that pleased.
Yeah, agreed. I'm not going to piggyback too much of what you said, but I agree completely. The thing is with Rui, which I think all of us, well, at least us three on the podcast, have been singing his praises when things have gone wrong. Of course, some of it is his fault, but like, for example, last week against AVS in the Cup, I don't think that was anything of his doing. I think it was just individual errors. And Braga as well, I had the same feeling. But this game, he just had to make those subs earlier. It was way too late. I think we started off very well, and it was a sort of a typical Rui Borges second half where it just, the energy levels dropped. Players weren't pressing as much. Like Pedro Gonçalves, I've said before we went live, there's just something off about him. Like the technical ability is still there. There's no pressing. There's no pace. There's no energy. He seemed very nervous on the ball. And for me, I maybe it's a bit harsh saying that he shouldn't have started the second half, but I think he definitely should have come off at minute 60 or minute 55. I don't think he was really offering much. And I think if you look at goal point, as much as we use them quite a lot, the stats to me are crazy. How is Jenny on a 4.5? I thought he was fantastic he was probably our best offensive player for the whole game. Morito I thought was fantastic, and he's been given a 5.5 as well. So like,
crazy.
I don't know. I think it's come out. I think Reebok in the press conference said that Jenny was injured, so it makes sense why he put Jenny off instead of maybe Trincao. So that does make a bit more sense. But yeah, overall, I am happy with the result. Don't get me wrong. I'd obviously be happier with a win, but I think coming into the Dragao, a hostile environment where, you know, I don't want to play the victim card here, but everything was going against us. Not in terms of like refereeing decisions, but like Kevin mentioned, the fireworks stopping the game. Even Diogo Costa going down in the first 12 minutes to stop the pressure.
A timeout.
Facts. We were all over them. It felt
Crazy.
like, and they took that injury from Diogo Costa to sort of regroup, and then from there it was never quite the same. Which, don't get me wrong, smart. Like, there's nothing saying you can't do that. And the thing with the ball boys as well, I understand it's, you know, part of the game is what you'd probably want to do. It didn't end up working in the long run. But even before the game, I don't know if you guys saw that one of the Porto fans threw a Atletico Madrid jersey at Hjulmand whilst he was coming in back from the tunnel.
That's so jokes. Did he? Are you sure he didn't miss and hit Viega instead? Like,
I think, was a little late. It didn't hit him directly.
No, he was kind of he just kind of had his hand out and it kind of went against him. He gave it back straight away, but the gift that you can make out of it is amazing.
That's jokes.
So, like, hostile environment, hostile atmosphere. It was always going to be a tough game. I'm not too. I think if you said to me before the game, would you take a 1-1? I probably would have said yeah. So that to me, I guess, is a good thing. The only individual things I'll point out again on the goal, I feel a bit bad because I don't think it's all his fault, but Rui Silva needs to be stronger with his hand there. I think if that's Diogo Costa making that save, I think he makes it 9 times out of 10. Rui Silva, we've seen, I don't want to say too frequently, but there's been some times this season where I'm just like, man, I feel like you could have been a bit stronger. I feel like you've been a bit more aware of your positioning. And I know that it took, like Kevin said, it was like 4 deflections, pinball out there, and it took another deflection on the way in. But it just felt like maybe he should have been a bit stronger. And Hjulmand, for that, by the way, what was he thinking going down like that? Like, I think he was grazed. Don't get me wrong, but like, come on, man. Like,
so there's this camera shot of they're all starting the referee, and there's like 3 of them, and they're all protesting different things. It was just kind of throw it all. It felt like one of those. There had to be somewhere offsides in there somewhere. All those freeze frames. There's one cross where Froholt is like at the back post. He doesn't actually touch it, but it's like he goes for it, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm not involved." But it's like, I think he's involved. You know, it's like a cross to him, and then he just stops. So I don't know.
Even on the goal, Alberto is like right there.
Alberto is like in front of him, kind of. Rui Silva says he got screened a little bit, bro.
Yeah.
The whole
and my
thing
thing on that, okay,
up,
maybe it doesn't. It's not a hard impact on Hjulmand, but my brother in Christ, like, how many times does that get called a foul in the 2 games?
Yeah, it's one of those you got to get him in real time because if you look back at it,
yeah, they're never going to call it back for that.
Always call it. Yeah, they're never going to call it back, but the referee always calls that foul in the middle of the box. It looks like, or in front of the box, it looks like the defending team wins the ball back just slightly, and then the other team takes them out, whistle to mouth, other direction. It's like 99 times out of 100 that gets called, and this happened to be the one time. I hate that we're living in this timeline, because in the other 99 million infinite timelines, that gets called a foul, that goal doesn't get in, and then, I mean, we draw 0-0, but like...
Also, the fact that Fofana got so much power on... He shot it twice. The first one was really powerful. The second one, he's like on the ground because the first one was so powerful, it made him fall over, and he somehow like stands up and hits it as he's standing up and gets good power on it again. Within Rui Silva's frame... It goes through Inaciu's legs, slightly deflects. It's probably on him quick. It was so unfortunate.
You usually won't have any sort of chance where they'll have 4 chances to actually put it back in the net.
No, that was ridiculous.
That does not happen too often. It is a bit unfortunate, but
and if you guys notice,
if you can accuse Rui Silva of cheese wrists, like he is a little bit weak, I guess. He's kind of diving into his own net. It's not saying like, oh yeah, he should have kept it out, but could he have done a little bit better? Perhaps. I can see.
Also, like Chris mentioned, it goes through Inaciu's legs, like,
and he does take a little deflection on the way as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Low-key, this might be my first yellow card of the podcast. It like grazes his balls, bro. Like any higher, and that's popping a testicle. You know what I mean? Like it's so unlucky for our end, so lucky for them, bro. Like the perfect shot there, just to like get the like it hides under Inacio there, like.
Yeah, and for me, it was like it took so many deflections that I thought, or like so many blocks that I was like, it's not going in. We're going to clear it. Yeah. And then that last shot, and it's just like, man, so annoying. But also, Fresneda, man, how are you getting out jumped? How are you losing an aerial duel to Rodrigo Mora?
We might as well just enter the Fresneda segment of the podcast right now.
But the thing is, I don't want to be too harsh on him because in the first half, I actually thought he was pretty good. I didn't think he did much wrong. And then in the second half, he does that back heel for no reason. And like
the back heel was not.
Sam, can I just be perfectly honest with you? Can we just get into? Did he not do much wrong, or was he good? What are the standards?
Was he
not actually being good, or was he just not?
No, I was actually thinking about that exact thing earlier, Kevin. Right. I almost tweeted it. Like the standard for him having, like for a lot of players, what he just put in tonight is a shocker. But for him, it's like, okay, you know, like I've actually seen a lot worse. So the standard is on the floor basically for him.
And I mean, on paper, he won the penalty, I suppose. Still not completed cross, but you know,
and
it crossed it right at the
defender. Will he ever complete the cross?
Any half chance we got, the final pass depended on him. Especially in the second half.
Porto,
sorry, really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Really quick. Okay, he's great at running. I'll give it to him. He makes the right runs. That chance in the first half where he's through on goal, does he shoot it on target or does he try to cross it to Jenny? I've watched it like 5 times. I'm unsure.
No,
that was actually shooting it.
I thought he shot it, but that was our best chance of the even till now. That was the most clear-cut chance we had all game,
and we came away with like 0.05 xg from that or some shit like that, bro.
Like if he got it on target or saved, you're like fair enough, man. You shot on goal.
It could take a ricochet if
the ricochet could have looped it higher, maybe.
Exactly. And if you get it on target, maybe Diogo Costa gets a foot to it, and then Jenny's running into the box. I think Trincão is just behind them, or Suarez is right behind them. Who knows? But no, he does whatever the fuck that was. I don't get it. For a guy who makes like pretty good runs, I don't get him and his like end ball. He needs to practice his crosses.
It's a really tough situation at right back right now. Yeah. Who wants it less?
He's just not very good on the ball. Yeah. Like it's that simple. Like he's decently intelligent. He can bring it in field a little bit. He can invert a little bit more than other players. At least Vagianidis, I've not seen him do it as much, but he's just not that good. He's not that comfortable. When he's deep and he gets the ball, you can see he looks straight up the pitch. He's going to put that ball forward anyway. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Whether he's pressed, whether he's not, he doesn't have that much range to him. And that's the thing. It's really funny because Porto were kind of man-to-man marking the same way that we do, a little bit higher up the pitch at least. It seemed like every time that we were in their half, the player that had the most space, always Fresneda. And you can't tell me that that's not them having a little bit more attention to the likes of Pedro Gonçalves. They know who's got a little bit more technical ability. Jenny, not letting him down.
Had 2 men on him at all time. Like every single time it was Martin and Gabby.
Why is it Fresneda who's free a little bit deeper and he has the time, a little bit more time at least, to pick out the pass, which obviously because he's not comfortable where he is, he's going to get it wrong. Doesn't have the confidence, doesn't have the... Like, it's not... This isn't, like... It's not a coincidence. They're looking at who the danger men are and who is going to join from the free at the back, usually. Fresneda, he will overload. He's usually forming the free in defense in comparison to Maxi. It's obviously going to be him who's a little bit freer. And that suits Porto absolutely fine because he doesn't have the quality. He just doesn't. And will not ever have. He's just not as good as other players. No matter how good he plays in comparison to his own standards, he won't meet what we expect of Maxi, of Trincão, of Jenny. Even the likes of Hulman, comparison in terms of even just building up from the back, he will never meet those standards. He'll either meet it, just the bare minimum, or he'll be beneath it. He'll never have a brilliant game where offensively, he's on it. He'll go past players. He'll create. Never.
Yeah, agreed. And he, looking at this 11 and all the 11s we had before, he is the most replaceable player there. I think, every single player in this lineup has their positives and has their meaning to the squad. But I look at Fresneda, I'm just like, man, if you like Chris mentioned earlier, if Valunides plays there, are we going to notice a difference? I know how much we hated Esgaio, but come on.
You might be taking this too far now, Sam.
I'm not saying they're comparable,
but I hear you.
Right, you can plug him in there right now and get that same thing.
Yeah, I hear you though.
It's like when Esgaio was there, I was like, okay, you're still the worst player on the pitch in an 11, but it's something since really Pedro Porro left, we've not really had, I guess, someone there. Even when we played with Amorim, we played Jenny at right back most of the time, or Kenda at right back, or man. I would like to see more of Valunides, especially as the games get going in February. It's going to be a lot of games coming February and March as well. So hopefully Valunides gets a bit more minutes. But man,
let me hurt you guys a little bit more. Let me hurt you guys just a little bit more on the Fresneda point here. When Rui Borges came in last January, we were linked to Alberto Costa. Now maybe he's not as well attacking as. Well, actually, who knows? He doesn't attack as well or as much in Porto at the right back position compared to what we see in Fresneda. But how much better would we have been if we had gotten Alberto Costa back in January or this summer rather than keeping Fresneda? Not to mention the I'm forgetting his name, the one we loaned out to Moreirense who just scored a banger this weekend. Travassos, there you go. So just to bring home the
Danny knows. The one that always got away from me is Serginho Dest.
Yeah, true.
But if he came when he was linked, he'd be gone by now because he would have played too good. So we'd still need another one.
Yeah, facts.
But we've had this problem, as Sam said, since Porto was left, because we don't even know what we want our defender to do. Half of the time, he's not even defending. Like, we want Fresneda to overlap Jenny, even put a cross in, although he has to be defensively solid because he's in the back three half of the time.
Yeah.
You're asking for basically the most complete defender and the most complete attacker. It's not going to happen. Now, if you had a midfield duo, who Morita's going to leave, Hjulmand is probably going to leave, as you guys have probably got into already. We're not 100% certain, but it's almost guaranteed he's probably going to leave in the summer. Like, if you actually reformulate the midfield, have two players who can come into the back line, who can defend a little bit more space. Perhaps you can have another defender, like Danny said, the likes of Alberto Costa do a little bit more often. Travassos, he's been doing Moreirense, he's been playing as a winger even. Yeah. You can have these players holding width instead of having to come from defence centrally, building up play to overlap and put a cross in. That is a lot less range if you have them holding just width and having a little bit more offensive impact than what Fresneda is expecting to do, because he's always going to fail at one or the other. And Valunides, he's not been exposed to the same level, but defensively, he's not as good as Fresneda.
Yeah.
He's just been playing in the context against like AVS, where you can just put a cross in, and he's not expected as much defensively. This is the thing, like, we either take advantage of this opportunity to form the squad a little bit better, or we're going to always have this problem if we don't get a world beater, which, as we've seen with Portugal, it doesn't come along too often. We had a right-back problem for the longest time. Even Piccini, which was probably one of our better players for a long time before Portugal, they do not come along too often. They're always very limited. So I actually get, if it's Valunides, if we get another player in like Travassos, who offensively they are both good, how are we going to put them both into the side and still keep the three at the back? Because that seems the norm in football nowadays.
Yeah, agreed. Danny, what were your overall thoughts on this game?
On that, we need a right-footed Maxi Araujo. That's what we need on the right, to be honest with you.
Right, every single player like Maxi Araujo would have 11 yellow cards.
Facts.
Where? Please tell me. Where do I get him? Where do I drive him without my license?
Tell me. Facts. Facts, bro. Me too, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too much on what's been said. It's nice to see a good Hillman game. Um, yeah, goal point. I know it's gospel around here, like Rich likes to say, but 5.5 on goal point is kind of ridiculous, bro. Morita was our best player in my opinion. Guy was defensively solid. Big tackles, one in the midfield. Jenny a 4.5. He was probably our second best player. And Martin getting a 6.8. Jenny bullied him the entire game. I told you guys in the chat, if we were to get a goal, it was going to come from Jenny's side.
I thought he was going to do it, dude. I thought he was going to
too.
cook him and get in the box and play it in, and we were going to score.
There was a chance in the first half where he cooked them, and then I can't remember if he tried to cross. I think he tried to cross it, and I think it was like Maxi that was like bombing into the far post or something.
Yeah, and it got just poked
just
away.
Missed him. Yeah. When maybe he could have shot there, sort of thing. I thought in the first half, Diomande was about to give me a fucking heart attack with his passes back to Rui Silva.
Rui Silva had a sketchy moment or two where
Yeah.
the ball was at his feet, like in the 6, and
but he escaped
Gave me
it.
the flashbacks to St. Just, man. I thought one of them that did when they played in the air. I was like, oh god, like,
even in the second half, I forget who it was that passed it to him, but he passes it to. It's just before he starts complaining about his calf. He passes it to Inacio, and I don't know if it's Dennis Gould or if it's Pepe or Borjas signs that just come sliding in.
Pepe,
I thought he was about to get the fucking goal just off of that. Holy hell, bro. Maybe that goes more to the criticisms to Rui Borges, which, listen, you know me, I'm a defender of Rui Borges, but it's like the same thing on these big games. You try to build too much off the back. You try to hit them too much on the counter attack. Okay, and then when we get possession, we try to maintain it in their half. We try to pin them back. Especially in the second half, more so than in the first. Although in the first half, our counters were somewhat working. We just weren't getting enough proper shots off. But we need a different game plan. I don't think especially in the context of Porto and Benfica, maybe in the Champions League to a PSG, it's we might be a bit better there. But against Porto and Benfica,
this strategy worked really well against PSG.
Yeah, really well against PSG.
Because you have less fear. Because you don't have the weight of the expectation. You're playing with like, oh, if we lose, everyone expects us to lose. It's not like you have to go to the Dragão. You have to win. And obviously, it's the same sort of situation as Bilbao, where obviously we got that goal like last minute. But it's but
Bilbao, we controlled the game a bit better.
That's the thing. You can kind of feel PSG, like we were happy just to concede possession, survive, and then we'll see what happens. And we got the rub of the green at the end of the day. This sort of game, it's always been our issue. You have to dominate. You need to have the initiative. If you have the ball, you need to kind of take the risks, and you kind of halfway between. We'll have control, but I don't want to play like I do against RVS. I don't want the player to put that pass into a dangerous area.
You don't want to get.
I don't want Diomande to put that like progressive pass. No, clear the ball. No, clear it forward, and you're playing kind of halfway between, and that's where you have the lack of success because you played until the 70th minute, which was their goal, the same way. There was no kind of, okay, I'm going to force this pass. I'm going to see if this pass supports between the lines, putting Pot a little bit closer to Suarez so we can have it like that base to bounce off of. I'm going to see if that actually works out. We didn't do that enough. And even Jenny, there was a couple of times in the first half, right at the end, where he was making like that curved run in behind the defense, which we got a corner off of that and a very dangerous cross at the end of the first half. Even our front line, they were very static in the first half. Like, how do you expect to create if you just stood between the lines, between their midfield and their defense, and just expecting the ball to go there when no one wants to put the pass there to begin with?
Yeah,
it's just too static. It's too conservative in a way because no one actually wanted to take the risk, and that's what happened until it was essentially too late to actually go and win. All you could do is get the draw, which was quite fortunate at the end.
That's a good point too, because Suarez typically isn't like that static forward that we have. Suarez is pretty good on like creating for us, running in the channels, collecting the ball.
Danny, I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you see how static it was and like how 100%. Isolated? He'd get the ball.
There'd
Who
be
was
nobody
around him to actually bounce off of? Who was actually there to get the ball off of him after the first, second, third touch?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, no, I agree. I 1,000% agree with that. There. That's why I think the subs should have come on quicker too. I think I to a certain degree, I see why it wasn't, because we're counting on players, especially the players that are going to come on. I mean, minus maybe Simões. We're counting on players that are either coming back from injury or that we've just bought. So like Luis Guilherme, who I thought came on and actually made a big difference. But Bragança I also thought came on and did really well, but he's coming back from a big injury. Why Pot wasn't subbed for Simões, who would have given us a lot more energy, and like you talked to, Kev, instead of being static up there, would at least run back, would run forward. I don't understand that. I mean, Simões, again, we can criticize Rui Borges, and he's not above criticism. He needs some criticism. I still think he's right for this job for the time being, of course. You trust them against Napoli. I think you have to trust them against a team like Porto, a team that a lot of it is energy, especially to nullify Froholt, who we did, especially under Morita. I thought we played really well to Froholt's strengths. We really stopped them from being that workhorse today, but we could have also used our own workhorse in Simões. So, like I said, to a degree, I get Rui Borges. He maybe doesn't have the confidence in these players as much as we would love him to, or like him to, or as much as he probably plays to, saying that he does. But yeah, the subs coming on sooner. Who knows what this game would have been? Who knows if we could have kept on more possession there? The other thing, though, and I don't want to harp on this. I don't want to say this is the excuse. I look at the screen right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellows to their 2, 3. Okay, 3 because Mora got the penalty at the end. I seen Samu put a knee towards Fresneda's back, the same one the same sort of foul that almost paralyzed Neymar in a World Cup maybe a decade ago. I seen, who else was it? Was it Froholt or Varela? High foot to Hulman. Nada. Again, I go back to their goal.
Varela.
9 times out of 10 that gets called a foul. What was that, Kev?
It was Varela, I think he said.
It was Varela.
Varela, yeah.
I think Martin Fernandez had one on Jenny where he pulled him back as well.
Yeah.
And like to give the referee credit,
but Diomande does it, and Diomande gets the yellow.
Yeah, I thought he did let the game fly a little bit. There were some things that I was just like, it's really stupid. Like I was saying to Chris before we went live that Pepe won a lot of fouls, and I don't think a lot of them were. But sporting players should know that if you're going to put a hand on the back, Pepe's going to go down. It's a foul, and it happened every time. It was whether it was Maxi, whether it was Morita, Hulman, it was always the same thing, and that does annoy me. At the same time, you know it's going to happen. So a lot of it is on the players.
On the foul where Maxi got the yellow at the end, he doesn't even actually really do anything. Yeah. He goes up to him. Pepe dives, but because Maxi has like an aggressive posture, and then he's like chirping fucking Claudio Ramos on the sideline. There's like a little shoving, and it's like now it's a yellow because like he like did his little bullshit. Like,
by the way,
I just want to share something very quickly, just because it's come in the last few minutes. Apparently after the game, the air conditioning was turned at maximum temperature. No way to adjust it.
No way to that pity. No.
That's crazy.
No way.
What's wrong with them?
Come on. They already did everything during and before the game. What is the need of this?
And I did see a video. Let me find it. So they decorated
with newspapers.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see photos of that.
This is video right here.
I pray they lose the league now.
Really?
Wow.
Why?
Ujogu.
Are they that insecure?
Come on, bro.
I don't mean to be that guy.
There's something wrong.
But if you know that you're that club in Portugal, you don't need to be doing this stuff.
You put the referee in the
come on
VAR torture chamber, dude. I mean,
why? They don't need to do this.
We have a
the thing is, they are objectively the most successful club in Portugal over the last 40 years. They don't need to do this. So why? Why are you even going into these antics?
Same reason they're hiding the balls, bro.
Facts, bro. Win at all costs. Listen, we have a Taça game against them. We do the same thing, but apito durado. Apito durado, apito durado, the names, we do the same. Just play the same game.
Then
That's
these still
crazy.
fell
That's
off.
funny.
It really did. It was a good.
Facts.
This has always been my problem. Is that
It was good
at a
run.
certain point, and it looked like we were doing this at the latter stages of the game, we were entering their game.
100%.
I get you need to be in their faces. Like Maxi, he throughout the game he was doing it, but there's a problem. There's a difference between doing it to provoke
Just
and
another
doing
one
it
for
as a
you coming up.
response.
So,
Yeah,
Not
Are
the
they Moroccan
AFCON
fans?
tactics.
Are they the Moroccan fans? What are we doing here? This is the thing. Like we need to expect this because they do this constantly. Whether it be I've been to the Dragão, they let me in about 40 minutes after the first whistle. Like they just do this stuff. They play Filhos do Dragão about 8 times, an hour and a half after you're supposed to have left the stadium. This is just their sort of antics. There's a difference between trying to provoke it and trying to react to it, and we were just reacting to it from a certain point. And it's frustrating because a decade after we've last won there in the league, why are we still trying to kind of just giving into those sort of games, committing the fouls they're trying to draw, getting into their faces when it's at a time that doesn't really benefit us because we're going behind the result. We need to keep the rhythm. We need to keep the game flowing, which Luis Godinho for once wasn't even affecting that much. That's another frustrating thing. Other than our intent of how offensive we're being in our play, also just being like we cannot affect what they do. Like they're just going to be what they are. They're going to try and provoke us, try and get us upset, try and take us from a stoic sort of mind point. We need to be the one provoking, not the ones actually reacting to what they're doing, trying to obviously rile us up. I think that's really frustrating because at a certain point, from about the 75th to 85th minute, we were really just playing into their hands. The game was very stop-start, more than the rest of the game.
Yeah, agreed. Chris, what were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, I thought it was a very, very fortunate that we are walking out of here with anything. Not because of that we didn't deserve it or whatever, or that a draw was the fair result. I mean, it came out of nothing. The 10-minute burst at the end really did feel like too little too late. It felt like Porto really didn't deserve to score. But they just got it in, forced it over the line on that one sequence. It felt like we had so many, especially in the first half, like almost moments. It's like, oh, if we just got like one more pass here, there was space. Or like, oh, we had them if we could have just done this one thing. Or like, oh, if he like made this run. So that's why I feel like there was not that many actual shots because it was just a game of almosts. There was that cross that came in that 2 people almost got to, but nobody actually got to it. I think that just the overall approach of like playing it safe and just trying to spray it out to our, wide players when we are trying to break in transition, play directly, have Suarez like alone up front, just, give it to Jenny, see if he can do something. I ultimately think that they weren't playing for the win. Like that's the only possible explanation. If they got the win, it would have been nice. If one of those chances went in, it would have been great. But I think that they just accepted that draw keeps it equal, 4 points in February. There's still a lot to go. At least this keeps us alive. And I honestly think that was a bit of the mindset, which is why it felt like will they, won't they a lot of the time. And obviously Porto was also content with that result in a way. They would have obviously loved to win as well, but understand that the draw keeps Sporting alive, sure, but they're still in the driver's seat, so they're also okay with it. And I felt like that's why it was played the way that it was. And it's fortunate that we got that result, I guess, ultimately, because the guy who can't complete a cross still didn't complete a cross, but at least this time the guy's arm was outstretched enough Unlike the other one where it hit his arm, but it was on his chest. So not quite enough extension there. Very, very lucky, but there's still a lot to play, and we're still in it. So that's my main thoughts just immediately after watching it.
Can I also quickly just mention one more thing on the subs? Like I was saying, Rui Borges doesn't have a lot of confidence on these guys because they're coming back from injury. This chopping and changing in January, especially if we look to our rivals who, maybe brought in players but didn't release players. I mean, Allison coming in today would have been nice. Mind you, it was a good sale. Don't get me wrong, but Allison would have been nice. Matheus Reis in the locker room. Why is he leaving today? Specifically,
bro, those ball boys are not holding them balls while he's around, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We have an international criminal with us. I also think as harsh as we maybe been to Varandas in the past, and as much as we've eased up, as much as the easing up has been deserved as well, this January was a little strange to me too. We got Luis Guilherme and Faye in, and we can have our opinions about them as much as we want. We have Nuno Santos coming back from injury. We have Bragança coming back from injury. We had João Simões. We have Morita maybe leaving, maybe going.
The Bast and Fotis are dead, though, sadly.
The Bast and Fotis are dead. Fair enough. Yeah.
I've not heard anything about Kenda in a while as well. I thought he'd be sort of around.
Kenda was 2 to 3 months, but yeah, should be.
Yeah, Kenda's like Feb, March, probably more April at this point. Ioannidis was supposed to be back now, and so was the Bast. That is a lot more concerning. Considering we need a striker for next games because Suarez is out.
And with that being said, again to my point, Rodrigo Ribeiro, we loaned him out. He probably would have gotten more minutes now.
This would have been his moment,
under Augsburg.
I do kind of get that though. Nel has been a lot better than Ribeiro. Ribeiro's been playing as a 10 more. I kind of get that. Loading out players in form like Alisson, who did have their certain role to play, that makes a lot less sense.
100%.
Considering you're getting a player who needs to scale up, considering Faye has not played at this sort of level, and Guilherme, he's played at this level, but he's completely out of rhythm, out of confidence, not really
he's been looking
at
good.
all. And he's looked good. But the thing is, you've gone in the summer from Yeramai, who was a player who would definitely just completely change your reality on the left side of the pitch,
or even
to a player like Jota Silva. Jota Silva, he has experience in the Portuguese league. He had a certain impact in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest, he wasn't necessarily bad.
No, he's good.
But how are you going from that sort of profile? And those two are completely different players in the sort of way that they play, the areas they like to attack, the way they like to attack. And you're going to Luis Guilherme and Faye, completely different profiles, completely different experience, price tags, ambition just in the signings, what you're expecting short term of them because they are long-term signings. It's completely incoherent. So I'm going to double down on what you said. Varandas obviously deserves his credit, the whole board, the way that they've managed the club, but you cannot be differing in the sort of profile that you're looking to bring into the club. If you're looking for a left winger who does this, you can't go from Yeramai to Jota Silva to Faye and Luis Guilherme. It's completely different, and that does not inspire any sort of confidence. And also, since Uguviana left, we've taken months, and weeks just to close Faye, who's a low-budget deal in comparison from a B team of another club.
Yeah.
How is that taking you as long as it basically took for us to close Gyökeres, who had interest from the Premier League at the time that we bought him?
Yeah.
That is more the concern for me anyway.
And then we talk about right backs earlier in the podcast too. Not even like a look at anybody at right back. We could have loaned out Vaginidis and brought in, I don't know who, but you know what I mean.
The Matheus Reis one doesn't really make much sense to me either, because I know he's not been playing much recently, but he is someone. He's a captain without the captain armband, basically. And
I was going to say, we didn't even get a transfer fee for him, so that I understand of. Did we?
Exactly. Yeah. No, because I don't think.
Let him go at the end of the season.
No. Yeah.
Exactly. I guess maybe he has to leave.
Potentially.
Yeah, but then I don't know when. I really don't get it. And even in a game like this, I'm not saying he was ever great in these games against Porto, but he lived for these games. This is a game where He probably would have come on.
He's just
but,
getting
like,
a bag.
Yeah,
He's just getting a
probably.
massive bag.
Yeah,
It's
but
about 4 million clean, apparently. That's basically what the likes of St. Just and Trincão was getting. That
Rubles?
sort of ballpark,
Yeah,
reportedly.
rubles. Yeah, but Matheus
Yeah.
Reis, you got to deal with.
Something like
It is currently negative 20 in Toronto right now. I can only imagine what it is in Moscow.
Do you reckon Mangus was like, you should go there, man? It's good living out there.
Low-key.
I know
Honestly,
it's a different
he
Moscow
could have
club,
told him
but
about it.
Maybe.
yeah, could have done.
And Luis Neto is still at Sporting too.
He looked at his bank account
A word.
and he looked at what his bank account could be. And he was like, I'm not renewing anyway. Let me go. And at that
Bro,
point, yeah, fair enough.
Saudi
Yeah.
wouldn't be calling.
None
though,
of us
at least
would-
warm weather.
None of us are refusing that. If Saudi aren't coming calling,
fair.
Russia are offering quite a decent bag. Yeah, man, just
Mind
go
you,
get it.
We're also
play
not
as
saying
well.
like we're also not saying we lost this game because we sold Matheus Reis.
Yeah.
That is also not the case. We also
He's
didn't
just
lose
proven
this
to be
game.
very useful
be
depth
fair,
over the
He has
past
been.
month
He has
or
been.
two.
Bro,
That's the thing.
shut
He
down
has the sort of mentality who brings you closer to the win. Like he does not care in these games. He goes for it. He puts his foot forward. A lot of these players, they were not doing that in this game. As much as he's a more conservative player, you can see his mentality against PSG. He showed up against Porto. It might not be the most positive reasons, but he's not afraid to make an impact. Perhaps that's kind of what was missing, and that is something that we do accuse Sporting of in the European occasion. And whether we like it or not, Matheus Reis, he's the player with the most games, most appearances.
No one's
So-
defended him on this podcast more than me, bro. I hear you. I'm with you too. I'm also saying too, like, okay, the subs didn't come earlier because maybe you don't trust the guys on the bench to come on to make the difference. We are playing with easily our best 11 on paper, right?
Mhm.
You're telling me that Rui Borges doesn't have more confidence in putting Matheus Reis at left back, pushing Maxi up with Trincão or Pot coming off because they're having a bad game, rather than subbing off Trincão or Pot for Faye or Luis Guilherme. I think
bad
he'd go
timing.
with that option as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's definitely not going to put
Yeah, yeah.
Mungas on for that either, because this isn't a Mungas game either.
Not today.
Not
That's-
today.
But also,
it's
like,
really bad timing.
Yeah.
yeah, and like with Maxi being a Knights game, as much as I do like Ricardo Mangus, I would much rather have Matheus Reis on the left hand side
100%.
than have him. And also, I noticed on the bench that Nuno Santos wasn't there today either. I was just looking quickly, but like,
That is very strange. I did not like that.
I don't as well,
So
but
he doesn't get a
I understand
suspension
it.
from the bench.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
The
saying.
thing-
He would.
The thing is, he's been playing in the front three. We know
Yeah.
that when he gets the cross right, when he's in advanced areas,
last
he
one.
gets the cross right. He can really fire a ball in there. Across the ground as well. It's
It's
not
too
exactly
early, though.
like those floaters that we've been seeing in this game, especially from
I-
the corners. I don't know what we're doing from the corners.
I do wonder
So,
because he came
Not
on
having
and
him
then,
as an option,
yeah, I
I
think
don't know, man.
because he came
Sure.
on against AVS and then we ended up going to 120 minutes. I don't think he
Yeah.
was cleared for probably more than half an hour, 25 minutes, and maybe it was just a
Yeah.
case of look, you played a bit too much.
Yeah.
Sit out.
And you
Yeah,
can tell against
maybe.
AVS, he wasn't fully ready for this. And this Porto game, it'd be too physical for him. He almost murdered a guy for a tackle against AVS, by the way. Imagine
Yeah.
what he would do
This-
today.
This is a
You know what I mean?
massive problem, though, from the start of the game. Porto, from the start of the season, the whole thing has been physicality, overrunning teams,
Yeah, 100%.
pressing them into oblivion. They can't press teams into oblivion at this stage in the season. Like we've seen their performances, they've gone down a cliff. And even the Porto fans, as much as they don't like to admit it, they have to because they've not been as dominant. But there's one thing having Bednarek on the pitch alongside Kivior and Froholt, who isn't even the tallest player on their squad, but he still has some height to him, and Samu. And you need to defend them with basically what are two centre backs and maybe Yulman, maybe Suarez.
Suarez. Yeah.
That's already on itself. That is a massive task.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their whole thing has been physicality. From the start of the game, we went Morita, Pedro Gonçalves. That is very different to Luís Guilherme Simões. They love to carry the ball forward. Simões, he even drops. He can pass out the back if he has to. He's not the most comfortable doing it, but
Yeah,
he
Morita's
does
better
it.
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
but
like-
this is the thing. They're a bit more mobile. I think we could have
Mhm.
matched their physicality a little bit more in that case and maybe overran them a little bit later if we had put them earlier on, because at that point, the game was just broken.
Yeah,
I think it just comes back to the point. We did so much well. Varela, he had very little impact on the game, like freedom just to pass forward, connect the game as he usually does. Samu completely out of it, and obviously the injury had its impact, but still, Froholt wasn't his best game by any chance. I think Morita did a good job. All their danger points, we seem to have basically just covered them to a very good extent. Of course, we didn't have a massively dominant game in terms of chances created or anything like that, but in terms of limiting Porto, which we can't deny, they've lost one game this season. It was last week. That's all you can really expect from first half at a place we haven't won in 10 years. That's what makes it so frustrating. We did so much well, and then we couldn't just build on it.
It's frustrating because we got it right to start with, but like we mentioned, we didn't modify it quick enough throughout the game. And boys, we mustn't forget.
It's been raining.
Stop.
It's been raining a lot.
Stop.
A lot.
But
the acoustics of the stadium weren't good for us.
One last thing that infuriated me.
Did Kev just call me acoustic? Oh, I'm kidding.
90 plus 8 came up at about a minute and a half.
Yep.
So you're expecting it to go at the minimum to 10.
Yep. Nope.
There is a VAR review. Pep lays on the ground for about 2 minutes.
Yep.
And probably at least 2 other instances that I'm forgetting about. So I was expecting after the penalty there to be maybe 3 or 4 more minutes to play.
At least 2. At least 2. I'm with
you. He blows it
I don't want to interrupt by saying something incorrect, but I'm pretty sure someone I was speaking to, they were saying that they had added 2 minutes on previous to even the VAR check. So I'm very confused as to how they even did this.
They never
I'm assuming they didn't just gather this from their own head, that this was something that the commentators had said and I'd missed. So
they never showed
finishing this at the 8 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
They never showed how much added time was being added on in the first place till like the 92nd or 92nd.
Exactly.
It should have been 100, if not 102.
Although I did feel like
I don't think that's crazy.
If we had more minutes, they might have scored.
I mean, I was like, all right, let's go. Get the ball, boys. Get the ball. Here we go. We're back.
And no, they were celebrating, by the
way. We could have scored another somehow.
You know what, though? I hear the ref now that you mentioned it. Maybe he was going to give us 2 minutes, but he's seen us celebrate, and he was like, you know what?
Like, okay, you know what? They're cool with the draw. Well, let's get out of here.
I can't believe we pulled.
Can we just get the ball and try and get the second at this point? Because we've done this at the game before.
The only one who even had a thought about it was Bragantino.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Why are we celebrating this? Guys, it's not bad result. It's not a good one. Come on.
Bro, I was knee sliding with Jormund in my living room, man. I was with him.
That is why you're not in my starting 11.
I have knee slide in my living room.
You're on my bench.
I cannot knee slide, bro. I fucked up my knee yesterday playing soccer. So
for me, it was like
that's why you didn't go pro, isn't it, Danny? That's why you didn't go pro.
No, I mean, that's why I didn't go pro at 31. Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
This is my pro, by the way. This is my Champions League every Sunday mornings.
But yeah, it was more like the despair of missing the penalty. I thought, game over. And then seeing Suarez score the rebound, that's when it was like, I couldn't believe it. But
yeah, I thought we were cooked. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Shout out Diogo Costa. That was a big save.
Yeah.
If you don't do it this World Cup, if you don't save one penalty, I swear to fucking God. I swear to God.
Hey, as much as we're praising Sporting, they did a lot of stuff well. Like us on organized possession, we had nothing. We couldn't get the ball through to Trincão, to Pot, to Suarez, who usually has an impact. Their defense was very, very well formed. As much as going forward, they didn't do much. They did enough to limit us. And at the end of the day, we needed the results. So, you know what? Shout out to Porto. As much as they played the dirty tactics, look, we're in a league where that's just a thing. It's even benefited most of the time. The fouls are always called, those sort of things. So, you know what? It plays into their hands. They did what they needed to do. we just didn't do enough in comparison. As much as we don't like it.
This was clearly a battle between two of the best teams in Portugal. Clearly, far away from third, fourth, and the other peasants below us. I say that, inshallah, we stay above third.
I will
place.
say it's only 3 points off Benfica now.
Yeah,
as of today.
I honestly, I also had a feeling when Mourinho said. Maybe I did. I also had a feeling when Mourinho said he wanted Sporting to win, that he fucked us there as well, by the way. Because the math wasn't mathing.
Man.
Yeah, the math wasn't mathing as to why he wanted Sporting to win. It's better a draw, in my opinion, for you, but I digress. Yeah, to Kevin's point, though.
Danny, it's mathematically correct. Or we're still in it mathematically, and then he wants Sporting to win. Tell us how you really feel, buddy.
Yeah,
come on.
Bro has been weird with the math this year, bro. He's always talking about mathematically in the Champions League. Maybe, but to be fair, maybe he thinks he has an extra 3 points because of the Braga game. Or sorry, an extra 2 points because of the Braga game.
Or even maybe he thinks that he's at Sporting right now because you're supposed to be here and that woman was saying, "Aqui now, you'll face assim." Maybe that's what he thinks.
Maybe. Alzheimer's
conspiracy
starting early.
Theories right here.
Maybe. But yes, credit to Porto. Clearly, I mean, they were undefeated up until last week, for a reason. You know, they're a tough team to beat. The signings that they made, especially in defense. I mean, of course, going forward even better, but especially in defense, Kivior, Benarac, now Thiago Silva, Alberto Costa. Bro,
considering where they were at last year with their defense as well, where it's like Pedro, Otavio, like the upgrade is crazy. Like I really like Benrek as well. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's got the most Player of the Month awards this year, and like deservedly so. He's been really good.
I'm kind of pissed. I'm not gonna lie, because he was dropping so much every time that we got the ball, where we could actually just attack him behind the defense, and we just couldn't get the ball forward fast enough. No one was making that sort of movement. It's like if we had Gyökeres in our team, I don't want to go there, but he would always attack that sort of space. If we had him, God, Benedict would have been gone.
He's washed. Don't talk to me about Gyökeres. I don't want to hear it anymore. He's washed.
If he was still here, which means he still had his normal weight. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
if he was still in form and all that, like, would have been a different game. But we don't have those sort of plays. We've gone a different direction in our play, and look, we've half paid the price for it, half got something out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Just one more thing I want to add, which has just made me laugh, is that even on the urinals, man,
I've seen that too.
couldn't even let us piss.
Man's can't even piss. Also, what the fuck are these urinals? This looks like a school washroom.
Yeah,
it's the away. This is not them winning the league at the Dragão. Or
the put that shit in the urinal and
why?
Facts. See, clever enough, bro.
Varendas, I don't ask you for a lot. You probably don't like me too much, but
yo, do you think we're getting a comunicado tonight?
No, if he has one job, it's when next time they come here, and I know it's this next season or perhaps in the Taça,
it's Taça,
where he can do this. Look, Taça de Liga. The goal from Joven, the times that the goal from Bas Dost to take it to penalties, the penalty from Luis Felipe. You have one job, Varendas. You have one job. That's all I'm saying.
Club, bud. Kevin, we can't do it. It has to be.
We can. Let us
show off the glory, bro. Come on.
Taça de Liga, bro. They don't have that. Winners of the Taça de Liga. You'll never sing that.
Yeah. Just I want to talk about a few more things before we wrap up. There is the somewhat penalty shout on Pepe from Maxi, and this is the image I can find. I didn't think it was. No. I think there was like the hand on his chest and Pepe falls too easy.
Funniest still image.
He's already falling too.
Yeah, the image is
Sam,
terrible.
Danny. I don't know about Christian. I'm sorry if you do have a girl, and I'm going to say this, but your girls have definitely been more aggressive with you, and you haven't been calling for a foul like that. This is nothing. Come on,
bro. If only I had VAR, man.
Bro, come on.
If only VAR existed.
And then I think Pepe, however the fuck you say it, he's like apologizing afterwards. So I think he's like, oh shit, they know I dove. So if I apologize, then it'll cancel out the fact that I dove.
Crazy.
And then that worked, I think.
Didn't get a yellow card this game, by the way. Pepe, who doesn't get enough of a reputation for being the exact same player that Maxi is, only further forward up the pitch. Doesn't make sense.
He gets into the final third. He has no idea what to do. Porto fans are kind of sick of this guy just because he gets into the final third. He can't shoot, can't really pass, panics on the ball, and he does this.
And more importantly, as we mentioned with Mangas last week, he's also balding. Buddy, go Turkey.
Facts. And I will say about Porto's wingers, both of them don't really, like, from what I've seen this year, don't really do much. Like, I feel bad for Samu because he's obviously a good striker, but doesn't really get the service from them too. And there's what we know that was saying Borja Sainz is the best thing since sliced bread. Is going to be the best player in the league. Well. You're going to win the league because of Borja Sainz, which could be true, I suppose, but I don't see it, man.
He fell off a bit.
Pipi and Borja Sainz are exactly why Porto fans are pissed that Mora doesn't play. Because Mora actually has the cutting edge in the final third. Borja Sainz, he's missed how many chances? Pipi, he has a reputation. It's not just this season. Yeah. He just lacks that sort of finesse.
Even William Gomes. William Gomes starts off the bench for them most times. William Gomes is a baller. Mota,
if you look at the goal contributions, it's probably quite similar, Danny.
Yeah.
Like, it probably
and not to mention their banger against us in the first leg or whatever it is, the first fixture against them. What a fucking goal from William Gomes, again off the bench.
And he's had a couple this season.
Exactly. Yeah. And you look at Mota, okay, they're not starting Mota because of he prefers Viega there. Telling me Mota can't play as a winger?
He came in today. That's where he played.
Came in today, yeah. He played well.
And was pretty much responsible for their goal.
That's where he can be. Yeah. That's where he can be. I know he played more inside for Anselmi, but look, it's that sort of area. He's more than good enough. He can just come inside, drift wide. He's got the dribbling ability. It doesn't matter really where you play him. He's that sort of talent. Unfortunately, it's really weird. And this is what annoys me. I think Rosario is a bit more complete than Varela. I think Mora offers a little bit more than Sainz and Pepe. At least as players, Mora seems a little bit more complete in the final third. We had something that we could actually build on. Especially when they were playing Benarek with Thiago Silva. God, if we had anyone who could attack space properly instead of Trincão and Pot, physically, they're not the most explosive. We could definitely take advantage of them physically in some sort of way, and we just couldn't in a way. They weren't even playing their best 11, technically.
I think I only seen it once where it was Jenny trying to play him from right from the behind the defenders just to make the space.
Behind Martin.
Yeah, behind Martin. Yeah. Behind Martin.
That one
coming into the middle, and then he made that run.
I think the cross kind of goes wrong. You don't know if it was a shot or a cross, really. If he did that more often. But the thing is, Jenny's always so isolated. It's kind of the style of play. We want him to be alone, so we could just go one-on-one. But if he has,
doesn't have to even be Jenny. It could be Trincão on the other side. It could be Maxi on the other side. It could have been Pot today.
But he can
even kind of lazy today.
Instead of just being inside here, where if he just does that sort of movement on the outside of the centre back or between the centre backs, coming outside and then putting the cross in, that's just enough. But you didn't have that sort of movement. It was very much be in front of Porto's defence. Don't really try and attack behind Porto's defence.
Or staying wide.
Really, they were just too settled. And that's what they want. Do you think Benarek wants to chase space in behind him?
No.
Like, he's Quartas sort of build. They don't want to be attacking, defending space. They want the ball to be in front of them. They want to be heading out, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. We'll get into the penalty, which I think everyone's going to say it's penalty. I did feel, obviously I wanted the penalty, but I did feel a bit bad for Mora because I just feel like it was just a natural reaction. But, you know, at the end of the day, he got us the draw.
Look at that form from Fresneda, bro. This guy cheeses me so much. What is that, bro?
You can make like a fun twister edit out of that, man.
No, there's nothing you can do. But Luis Godinho apparently called it in 1 second in stealth mode.
Shout out Luis Godinho, bro.
Shout out Luis Godinho, bro. Thank you.
Danny, one thing. Have you seen the picture, the meme of that cat putting like the really
Yeah.
curved ball in. This is what he looks at.
This is a very
This is
shit
him.
version of that. The cat was at least better, bro. What is
Put
this?
them side by side. The cat has better form.
Yeah, facts, bro. What is that? Holy, that's bad.
But yeah, like the fact that he's like here and not here, that's enough. That it has to be.
Yeah, agreed. It's 2 out.
Suarez still the penalty taker.
I mean,
Oh my god. Don't
better than
Christian,
Hillman.
please.
He's better than
My
Hillman.
heart stopped.
But now I'm
My heart
nervous. I'm
stopped for a
nervous
second.
now. 'Cause
That was poor.
I don't think he has
Who
a.
takes them?
I don't think he has a
I think
set
he-
pen. It could be Pot again,
He's
but
not.
Pot
He's not
is in
good.
not
He's not good
form.
on one-on-one. But who do you put in? Really, Pedro Gonçalves, maybe.
Yeah, Pot maybe, but he's not in a good moment right now.
Yeah, but you see how the cat has his hands down here and Fresned is sort of like all over the
Yeah,
Yeah.
place. No?
Yeah. I'm going with the cat, guys. I don't know about you guys, but
Me too.
I would
bro.
Yeah.
take the cat. I would take Air Bud as well at right back.
Facts.
Man. But yeah.
guys,
I
I'll
think-
be real. I'm taking a prime Sam Fonseca as right back.
Bro, don't make me
And
get
I'm
out
not
the
thinking
clip.
twice.
Don't make me get out the clip, man. We all know what clip it
You
is.
will. You will
Yeah.
quote this. You will clip. You're gonna clip this clip. They're just part of the podcast. Just
Um,
specifically, just so you can post that clip. I know you, Sam.
that
You're
could
gonna
Someone
do
needs to,
that.
It never
someone
gets
needs to
old.
record my games again because like I've only got like 2 highlights in my highlight reel. One of them is clearing the ball and just going, yeah.
Actually,
Sam,
you know
if
what? I
pay me
do
enough,
remember
I will
Sam
come to
scoring
your
a
game.
banger.
I'll be a cheerleader and a videographer.
Please.
Just DM me.
Man. One of these days I'll score a banger, it'll be on camera.
To
But
be honest, Porto's lost or
Will
dropped
you?
points in 2 straight games now.
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean
Let's
I
hope so.
did always say that the biggest test port I have is after they lose.
Yo,
because-
here's the other thing that's
Yeah,
really
what
funny
happens?
is they probably sent some like fucking interns into the locker room at like the 75th minute because they were probably up 1-0 or whatever, 80th minute, 85th, and they did all that bullshit, and they didn't even come away with the dub, bro. You really
that would have banged, by the way.
You
if they had
really
won, by the
hate
way.
to see it, man.
That
Just
would have banged.
sad,
bro.
just sad on. So
Why
many
wasn't that
levels.
done before the game? I thought that would have been much better, anyways.
Dude, they sent the bandits in midway.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
But yeah, I guess what we'll end it on is Mateus Reis leaving because, you know, he was a good servant. He's, I think, very underrated. Well, I don't know.
He's not even
underrated.
getting like a proper send off or anything. He's just in Russia now. See ya, I guess. You know.
We
been
might
real.
have done one of those interviews with them like that we did with Paulinho and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boys, can I say something real quick? Again, this might be my second yellow. I just thought of something what we can do against them in the Taça de Portugal.
Go on.
I might even get a straight red for this.
You're not on a yellow, so you might.
I'm not on a yellow. I'm gonna get a straight
You-
red.
you wanna
then.
warn it.
This is 2 foot. I might get canceled, fired from my job. But we Charlie Kirk beat to the Costa.
And what?
We
Like
put it in the
print out?
locker room.
Yeah.
Just I see the Charlie Kirk Luis Suarez. I mean,
I did see
we
that
might have
as
to
well.
do that. Sorry.
Um,
Anyways, sorry, Sam. Take it away. It was just an intrusive thought. I had to get out.
Kevin, you're muted, man.
You're muted, Kev.
You're still muted.
Damn.
All right, saying your mic disconnected, Kevin.
Damn, bro. Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Maybe he's
Damn.
gonna say something so outrageous. The mic was like, "Nah, let's
Nah, we
stop
can't
now."
say
They
it.
got you. The Republicans got you, bro.
When do they come into Alvalade? Is it the first leg or the second leg?
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
first.
I don't know.
I can tell you, it is the first game, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, first game on the 3rd of March at home.
Okay. So it's like in a month.
Yes.
All right.
And then second leg.
Keep your thinking caps on until then.
But
But-
I can easily do it on ChatGPT. Just let me know.
Man,
I don't need ChatGPT, bro. I can come up with something good.
But what I wanted to know was your guys' favorite Mateus race moment,
Sorry.
because there's been a few. There's been a few that you could pick from. Probably not all of them,
Mm.
like football ability wise, but for me, it has to be the middle finger up at. It was against Porto,
that one
funny
was
enough.
good. Yeah.
And then last season, before the game against Porto, he switched that to his Instagram profile picture for like 10 minutes. But yeah, do you guys have any Mateus race moments that you'd like to mention?
Definitely. 1 second.
There was.
I'm in a silly mood.
I have a couple amazing screenshots of him saved that will live forever.
Just joking.
Aquí nos pisa na cabeza. And then he got in trouble for saying that afterwards.
And we were trying to be like, it wasn't him, it was BL. It was like, no, it was Mateus race.
What is my favorite Mateus Reis moment? I'm trying to think of something on the ball, but I've been so rattled today that I can't even think of something right now.
Didn't he score a banger in the Champions League?
Yeah, I'm thinking not.
I mean, he's the most player.
Yeah.
Outfield player, I think. I think Patricio's still ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he gets to keep that record, right? Or is he tied with Patricio?
I think Ignacio might go over him in 2, I want to say. I could be right. I could probably check. But yeah, I think we have a few players that are close. But also, yeah, this is by far the favorite.
Trying to think of another.
He had a good game against Porto, bro.
The ball boy, roughing up the ball boys is always a classic as well.
Yeah.
This is the thing, Sam. Do you want us to be cancelled? Because us guys have careers. We probably can't say half of his good moments.
I don't know, bro. I might already be cancelled. I just suggested something kind of crazy. I mean,
oh yeah, Danny. This is what I was going to say. We let it slide, but you have to actually sing the Charlie Kirk song. So that's up to you.
I'm not aware of the song.
But change the word. But you know the song. No, I'm not.
You know the song. Oh, you're not on TikTok. I've got to send you the clip, do I?
Yeah.
But you have to change the words to Pinto da Costa to atone for your sins.
I will say though, his whole performance against PSG was just insane because the guy was just last ditch tackling about everyone on the pitch.
Yeah,
the guy was just making it work. Well, out of rhythm, playing centre back. Usually he's at most left back left centre back in a back 3. That was just an insane performance. Just celebrating every tackle, that was just prime, Eric in futsal sort of attitude, and just bringing it to the football pitch. That was just such an underrated performance. So I know it's basic, and I was at the game, so I'm going to say that, but that was an unreal performance from him.
So to answer your question, Chris, Ignacio is 1 behind Mateus Reis. So I'd assume in the next 2 Champions League games that we have, it will be Ignacio taking it. But
who's down first? I don't recognize him.
Oh man, you know what? I hate him even more.
Played a while ago. Never heard of him.
Yeah,
I hate him even more because on the latest Football Manager, I signed him to my Academica save, and he was so bad, man. He let in every single thing. He absolutely killed me.
I'm glad, brother.
In the 3rd division as well. I got promoted by this point. I was like, 3rd division, you know what? I'll sign him, and he was just absolutely awful.
Just 2 observations. Just 2 observations here. 1, the Freitas and João Lourenço. Why? What? Who? And 2, how our best players, best goal scorers. 1 is still playing for us. 1 was here for 2 seasons. 1 was here way too long and played way too little games in the Champions League. That's
Suarez is on 4
really
as well. Man. So Suarez scores again.
That's so poor.
Yeah, Kev, you wanted to put our newspapers up on their locker room when they got to us. Look at that! Look at our history, bro. We can't do that to them.
Yeah, but we have more Taças da Liga.
Yeah.
We play with what we have, bro. We don't have a lot.
Yeah, we could print out some record covers with that on it.
I mean, honestly, if we put like the bicampeão thing, that will probably rile them up more than anything else. They seem more than annoyed that we're actually doing something at this point in our history.
Yeah, true. But I think that's all we got, unless you guys have anything else you want to mention.
I don't think so.
That's good too.
I think that's it. We've been going for an hour. It's quite late.
On to
It's
the
a
next. On to the
later
next.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me look
so
out,
we go.
It's still on, boys.
yeah.
Who starts, guys? Did you start striker? Do you go Nell?
It's Nell
If
time.
you are Nidish, obviously
It's
isn't
Nell or
available.
never.
It's now or never.
Ah.
I love it.
I fear it's never, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably.
It's
What's
now or
what do you
never.
do? Are we going back to when we're in prime, false novel, attack Marvel, that sort of thing? Like, it has to be now.
Nah, it's
No.
I
Pot.
love that.
How he
We
put
go
Quarters
Pot,
up front,
false
just
nine.
stick Eduardo Quaresma up front, you
Mhm.
know, stick Inacio up there.
It's Porto Tricão.
I
hate
was thinking
it.
I was
Fight
gonna say that
Rubin.
too.
Get him in.
Yeah, actually, it's
Rubin,
Trincão.
Fox.
Like, that's my bet. It's Trincão.
Yeah, I think so
I
as
would
well.
too. Yeah.
But Sporting do have a challenging fixture schedule up next. So Famalicão we mentioned, then Moreirense away, and then it
Good team.
is Estoril at home, but Estoril on great form at the moment. Then Porto in the Taça, then Braga away. So a really, really tough period for us. But then, luckily after that, Tondela at home, Alvalade away, Santa Clara at home, Estrela away, and then Benfica, then AVS, then Vitória. So
That's around where we're going to have our quarterfinal match for the
yes,
Champions
that's very
League.
true. And the second leg of the Taça de Portugal as well, because it only shows the first one at the moment. But,
Was it?
Yeah.
yeah, well, on SofaScore at least.
Oh,
But you know, we might have
well, yeah, it doesn't have. Yeah,
we might have Forties back by then.
We
But
won't.
who knows? Who knows who will be injured by around that time anyway.
Danny, we should have had Footage back by 1st of January or something. I don't. Let's not take this for
Nah, dude,
granted
his
at this
knees.
point.
His knees.
Nuno Santos was gone for 15 months, bro. You think Forties is gonna be back in a few weeks?
We need to get the surgery,
They've
bro.
asked.
Yeah.
The
They've asked
rehab's
was
not
back.
working.
The Bass came back and left. Unreal.
Pot came back and got injured again, then came back and got injured again.
He's,
and then came
he's
back and got
playing
injured
like
again.
he's still injured, by the
The
way.
thing is, Potts, we actually knew what happened with him, as bad as it
Yeah.
was. We have no idea what's going on with Debast, Fortis, and there was a couple more. Even Bragança, he looked like he was back to training a lot earlier than when he came back to actual
Yeah.
matches.
Even
Let
Jenny
me-
coming off is like, he
Yeah,
looked
Jenny
injured,
is
he was
worrisome.
crying. Like,
No one's actually questioned this. Are we okay? Because I know, I mean, Porto apparently it's Samu and Kivior, but we kind of need Jenny. He was our best performing attacker at this point, apart from Suarez.
Came back from AFCON killing it.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Yeah, he came back confidence high, inside, outside, both
Yeah.
ways, like brilliant. Best he's
Yeah.
been, really.
If it means anything, Kev, the only thing you can take away from this is that we now have 6 other wingers that can play that position. We have Nuno Santos, we have Faye, we have Luis Guilherme, we have, I'm for sure forgetting like 2 more, Trincão, Pot.
We're counting Nunez from 2026 as a winger.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's true.
And we actually got rid of our second best performing one, technically, in Allison.
Yeah. But I mean, if there's a position
million
to
is so
lose a
difficult to
body
stand
on,
out.
at least it's on the wing. Let me end this podcast off controversially because I see more murmurs on the timeline. I'll ask you guys individually. Kevin, I'll start with you. Rui Borges in or out?
I'm still in. This sort of game makes me very nervous because obviously you're not comfortable going in a trajectory which is like this kind of like this bit shaky, but I'm still in. This game did not convince me, but in general, he did a lot better than I thought he would. He had a lot of question marks at the start of the season. He's proven most of them wrong, and I'll give him a little bit more time.
Agreed. Sam?
Man, you know me. I think our fans expect a bit too much from any manager. Even like Ruben Amorim dropped points against like Santa Clara and teams like this. I know I'm not saying that Rui Borges is above criticism because he's not. And like Gil Vicente, for example, was not very good. The first game against Porto wasn't great, and this one wasn't great. But I think we are going to drop points. It is going to happen. It happens to every club. I know our expectation is to win a lot of games, but if you look at where we were points-wise last year with Amorim, I think it's like 1 or 2 points off. Like it's not that big of a difference to, one of the best managers we've ever seen. Yeah, exactly. One of the best managers we've seen in our lifetime at Sporting, at least anyway. So yeah, I'm in until the end of the season.
I'll also match this with very few managers have ever got more points than Farioli at this stage of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're competing against. So
yeah, and we can mention, he didn't do well against the top 5 in the league, but he beat PSG, he beat Athletic Club, he beat Bruges. Yeah, he did really well in the Champions League. Something that Ruben Amorim didn't really get over. I know we had great games against Dortmund, against Arsenal, against Spurs, but in the Champions League, no one really took us as far as Rui Borges at the moment. So I'm still in. I think it also depends on where we finish at the end of the season. I've always said in this podcast, you cannot count Benfica out this race, even the title race, but for second place, 3 points is not a lot of points, especially for a Mourinho Benfica as well. So I think it depends towards the end of the season, but I'm still in for now.
Chris?
Yeah, same. In for now, for sure.
Cool.
Danny, what
I
about
just
you?
wanted to get the vibe check. I'm actually Rui Borges out. I can't stand the guy. I seen a Twitter post of him photoshopping Epstein, so I've seen enough. Obviously I'm Rui Borges, and I think he's a fantastic manager. I think I was
going to say, if you did all of this just to be Rui Borges out,
no,
it'd be really funny.
No. I'm Rui Borges, of course. I think we're playing some good stuff. The big games, even still, the big games, we can say we don't like the approach, but at the end of the day, we still limit the rivals to a few chances. And if we go to the other end and do something different,
never did as well.
Yeah,
this is the thing. Like, we haven't won in a decade. Rui Borges has been here for 1 year.
Yeah.
How long was Amorim here for?
Yeah.
Even the likes
he's inherited a lot of problems. He's done something Jorge Jesus can't do, and Jorge Jesus is a great manager. I think we have a good to great manager there. He's gonna make mistakes like he did today with the subs, but honestly, looking around, there's only unrealistic options that will be better than Rui Borges. I've seen on the timeline Ian Cathro. I like Ian Cathro. I love me an English person that speaks fluent Portuguese, or a Scottish person. Yes. I meant like English speaking. That's
going to come after you,
Portuguese. Bro. My bad. No. I didn't mean English as in like England. I meant English as in like the language. My fault. My bad. That's my second red card today, by the way.
They are going to murder you if they ever come across this.
If Ian Cathro was our manager today, we would have lost like 6-4 or some shit like that. Bro cannot defend.
Or 1-6-4.
True, yeah.
Probably not.
But Fresneda having 2 of our chances, I don't think so, bro. You know what I mean?
No, chances Luis Suarez misses, man.
If I can add one thing, that will make us a little bit more optimistic, and I know a lot of people aren't liking what they're seeing from Faith so far. The guy is coming up from the second division of Spain, Betis. He's very much more in a position of where Jenny is, where he'll face one defender, try and go in behind, cut inside, try and provide the ball, apart from being like an all-round creator where he has to connect a little bit more.
Who?
I think he will be better than what we've seen.
Fire,
yeah.
I hope so.
Bring back
he's
BL.
not as clean, technically, as like Potts or Trinkel. I think we've all seen that. He looks a little bit awkward on the ball, if anything. I think he'll be a little bit better than what we've seen. Whether it scales up, I do not know, honestly, because it's so difficult. In the final third, he's a little bit shaky. So he's Luis Guilherme, and he's already come good in some certain instances. On the right, he looks a little bit more comfortable. When he has a little bit more space, he looks a bit better. He combines a little bit better with Potts. We've seen even on the left, and he's not as comfortable. I think it's that sort of thing. It's like, if we're going to judge Rui Borges as well, overall, we need to see that he's been his best player, like impact player, consistently, at least in big occasions, has been taken away from him. Yeah. He's got 2 new players. They're still adapting. They're not as confident. They're not as sharp. Alisson, he had a whole summer to get up to speed, to know his teammates. I think a lot of people forget he came in about January, February. He spent the whole summer just training with the B team, with the first team.
Yeah.
Faye and Guilherme, they don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
So if we're going to try and end on a good point, I'd say that perhaps we yet to see the best of two very young players. And hey, let's see.
Yeah,
you're right. I was about to shut off Faye, but you're right. Let's end this on a good point.
I will say, in the interest of fairness as well, I will share one more thing, and that is that the dressing room of Porto's away has been the same since it's September. So it's not something they did specifically for us, apparently, according to a few sources out there. But in the interest of fairness,
that's still weird.
Yeah, I agree.
There's still such insecure energy from them. I'll be real.
I don't know.
But in all fairness, I think the air conditioner has been working the whole time. Like, I don't know. Obviously, it wasn't then, but, you know, at least the poster thing in the newspapers.
Do Sporting do this? Do Benfica do this? Do AVS do this? I know they don't have a lot to show off, but
the ball boys have been hiding the balls the entire season too, guys. We'll say that.
They just learned from Morocco. Danny, it's fine.
Facts.
We're just watching AFCON. It's fine.
Facts.
On that note, we'll end there. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to follow our guest Kevin, you can follow him here. Do you have anything else to promote, Kevin?
Not too much. I just write about Portuguese football and go from there. To be honest.
Let me just quickly praise Kevin, bro. Guy's an oracle. Bro will tweet something from like September and then retweet it because it's just facts. So follow Kevin because it's a great page.
I try not to delete the ones I get wrong. That's all I'll say.
Just
don't judge me when I get it wrong. When I get it right.
Facts.
Everyone can retweet what I get right. At least I try not to delete what I get wrong. That's all I'll say.
Fair enough. But you barely get it wrong. That's why we don't even bring them up. That's why you're more retweeting than deleting, buddy.
Facts. And you can also follow Danny there. You can follow Chris there, myself there, but most importantly, all things Alvalade on all social media and podcast platforms. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you next time, and peace.